Hi, it's Tammy with Good Girl again. With today's topic, we're going to talk about basic range gear. If you're just getting started shooting, these are some of the things that you're going to want to have and budget for as you get going into your adventures in the shooting sports. So first of all, you're going to need a gun of some sort, obviously. Now, your range that you go to, they may rent firearms, and you're able to do that and try out different guns. It's a great way to get started. But once you own your own gun, then there are several things you're going to want to do so that you can go comfortably to the range as often as you want and get practice. The first thing you're going to need is either a bag or a holster. There are a ton of different types of holsters, and we're not going to get into that. For new shooters, I really recommend start with a bag. The box that your gun came in is perfectly acceptable as a means to transport the gun back and forth between the ranges. We've said in other videos, nobody's going to be okay with you walking in to their store, their facility, with a gun in your hand. So you're going to want to have it in some sort of box case or holster. And this doesn't have to be something super expensive. Some people will they'll bring their gun in one of these little safes. These run around like 25, 30 bucks. And then it's a great dual purpose way. It's easy to transport your gun back and forth between the range when you're going to practice. And then it's also a great way to safely store your firearm at home. And you want to make sure that you are storing your firearm safely at home, especially if there are young people in your house that might have access to it. You can also get little bags like this that hold just one gun. They're super easy, super inexpensive, come in some different sizes depending on the type of gun you have. The goal is to keep the trigger guard and the muzzle covered so that everyone is comfortable with that gun until you're out on the range and ready to shoot. Once you get going and you're shooting a lot and you're loving it, you may start to get a lot of gear, and you may want to get one of those bigger bags. They have bags on wheels, they have backpack bags, but when you're just getting started, something small and simple like this is more than appropriate. I do really strongly recommend that you not just use a plastic grocery bag. I have seen people do that. It depends on, if that's all you've got, that's all you've got. But really try to budget to pick up one of these little just simple cases, or hang on to the box that your gun came in to use that to transport back and forth. So you've got your gun, you've got it in a case, and it's nice and safe. Then for the range, for your range trip, you're also going to need hearing and eye protection, and we will talk about that more in depth in other videos. But these are super simple little eye protection, and these are electronic ear muffs. You can get passive ones that are less expensive. You can get the little orange earplugs, the foamy ones that we all know about. They're great if you've got a spouse that snores or a chatty neighbor on the airplane. They're also great for the range. So you're going to want to have some sort of hearing and eye protection. If you don't have them, some ranges will have eye protection that you can rent or borrow for free. And then, but also be aware, some ranges may require you to buy them. I know a lot of ranges that prior to COVID just let people borrow the eye protection if they weren't coming regularly to the range. But after COVID, most places were making people buy them. So make sure you've got some hearing and eye protection, or plan on getting those when you get to the range. So you've got your hearing and eye protection, you've got your gun, you've got your bag, and then you need ammunition, which makes shooting at the range a whole lot easier. You want to have the type of make sure you have the type of ammunition that's right for your gun, and unless you're testing a new personal defense ammunition, most people can just get by just fine shooting practice rounds. It's going to be considerably less expensive. Basic gear too, you're going to want to have some targets. Some ranges sell targets, some ranges don't. You need to be aware of that and plan for it. There are so many different kinds of targets out there. There are fun targets like this one. This was in one of NSSF's, the National Shooting Sports Foundation's range challenge targets. Watch for NSSF's Bring One movement in the fall. That it's a great program and a great opportunity to bring a new friend to the range. There are also targets that you can print off online. I'm a big fan of this one from Guardian, or from concealcarry.com. I printed it out as a member of their Guardian Nation. I believe these are available to the public, though. If not, Guardian Nation is a great program to look into, and there are several different targets that you can print off on there. There are other companies that have targets online that you can print off. You don't have to get super fancy. You can do a paper plate taped to the back, or it really depends on the kind of training you're wanting to do. If you're doing outdoor ranges, these are great targets. You can get cardboard targets, you can get paper targets, all different types out there. But you're going to want to have some sort of target. They're not going to let you just shoot downrange. And just shooting downrange really defeats the purpose of going to the range. You're there to practice, which brings us to our last point. You're going to want to have a plan. A plan is basic gear for going to the range. If you're just going to shoot 50 rounds and get some stress relief, that's a plan, and that's okay. But if you're going to train, what are you going to work at? Are you going to work on getting all of your shots in the black of a B8 target at 5 yards? Are you going to work on 25-yard shooting? Whatever you're going to do, have a plan. That will make your trip to the range more enjoyable. Make sure you have all of the right gear. You don't have to spend a ton of money. It doesn't have to be crazy, but these are just the basics you need for your range trip. I hope you all have a great rest of the day, and remember, none of our instruction online is meant to take away from the importance of going and training with a live firearms instructor. You can learn so much more. These are just little tidbits meant to help you be more comfortable to get started. Have a great rest of the day.